When coloring and toning hair, you cannot just copy the color used by the person in the tutorial video. 9 times out of 10, your results will be different because your hair is different. If you're going to be coloring hair, you must learn how to properly formulate your hair color to ensure that you have good results. And that is what I'm going to teach you here today. I'm Laura, I'm a hairstylist, and today I'm going to be sharing the 5 main rules to follow when formulating hair color, especially when toning the hair. So in several of my previous videos where I'm doing a hair color example, I received comments of people asking me to use Sally's hair color so that they can duplicate my results. And the thing is, copying what the tutorial is doing down to the ounce and brand of hair color is not how you should be approaching coloring your hair. As hairstylists, when we see another stylist post a picture of hair with the formula attached, we don't go out and buy whatever brand that stylist is using. We make it in our own line. I share my formulas with you so that you know I used a level 6 with a blue-violet base. And this is based on what my canvas in the video is looking like. My goal is to teach you how to formulate color, not for you to copy exactly what I do. This is because my canvas and your canvas are likely different. This means that your results will be different from mine. So first, I briefly want to cover what a toner is as well as what a toner is not. Toners are demi-permanent hair colors that are used to add tone to the hair. They will deposit color only. They will not lighten it. You cannot get the hair any lighter using a toner. Demi-permanent is essentially in between permanent hair color and semi-permanent hair color. It lasts a little longer than semi-permanent, but it does not alter the strand of hair permanently like permanent color will. Toners are used with a 1.5% peroxide developer. Now, depending on the line you're using, the name of this developer will change. I use Pravana, and theirs is called Zero Lift Developer because it does not lift the hair. But other lines will call this developer 6 volume or even just demi-permanent developer. This is important to understand because if you are using a higher developer with your toner, you have the chance that you're going to alter the natural color of the hair. So it's very important that you're using the proper developer with your toners. All right, now let's get into it. Rule number 1 is to always tone down. So this means that you tone a level darker than the level that you lifted to. This is to ensure that you're able to cancel out the unwanted tone as well as ensure a good coverage. You can't tone a level 6 with a level 9. Absolutely nothing will happen when you put the hair color on. You always need to tone 1 level darker. So rule number 2 is to account for the underlining pigment. So when lightening the hair, the underlining pigment in the hair color is exposed. This is the warm color that you see when hair begins to lighten. If we look at this chart here, you can see that levels 3 and below have an underlining pigment of red. 4 is red-orange, 5, orange, 6, orange-yellow, 7, yellow-orange, 8 is yellow, 9, light yellow, and 10, pale yellow. So this red, yellow, and orange tone needs to be taken into consideration anytime you're lightening the hair. This could be with permanent color or when lightening the hair with bleach. If you don't want this warm underlining tone present, then you're gonna need to cancel it out. And that brings us to our next rule. Rule number 3 is how to neutralize or cancel out an unwanted tone. So as I just mentioned, anytime you're lightening the hair, you're gonna have underlining pigment that you're gonna have to deal with. But when you're doing a corrective color service, like let's say going from red to blonde, you're gonna have a different unwanted tone that you have to deal with, not necessarily the underlining pigment for that level. There have been many times where I'm taking a client from red to blonde and I get the hair up to a level 8 and I'm left with this pink red color. This is not the typical underlining pigment color for a level 8, but it still needs to be corrected. So to cancel out an unwanted tone, you need to use the color opposite of the unwanted color on the color wheel. This is going to neutralize or cancel out the unwanted tone. So for a level 6, the underlining pigment is orange-yellow. This means you would cancel it out with a blue-violet color. And in my example of lightening out red dye, then you'll want to cancel this out with a color that has a green base. And this is typically ash in most color lines. Okay, so rule number 4, we're gonna talk about pre-toning the hair. Now, when you're correcting an unwanted tone, you can either do this in one step or two. You can either add the correcting tone into your formula, or you can do it in a completely separate step. You would do this by pre-toning the hair with the correcting shade, and then toning the hair with your final desired shade. If I'm just looking to neutralize the underlining pigment of the hair, I normally do this in one step. But if I'm looking for a very specific shade, or I'm working on a corrective color service, like the example we've been using, then oftentimes I will pre-tone the hair to get it to a neutralized color, and then I can deposit my desired shade. So when I'm pre-toning the hair, I like to use half a level darker for my pre-tone and then another half a level darker for my final tone. So to give you an example, let's say we're lightening the hair from red to blonde and we are left with a level 8 pink red color. And our desired tone is a beige color. What I would do to correct this is pre-tone the hair with an ash green. I would mix together 7 ash with 8 ash to get 7.5 ash. Then my final toner, since I want a beige color for my final result, would be a level 7 beige. And beige usually has a blue-violet base. So my final toner would be 7BV. Rule number 5 is if you have different colors throughout one strand of hair, then you need to use different formulas. So let's say you're lightening your hair and your roots and your ends wind up lighter and you have a darker band in the middle of your hair. You're gonna need to use a different formula for this darker band in the middle if you want even results. You cannot apply one formula to the entire strand if you have different colors and expect it to cover evenly, because it won't. If you have bands of different colors throughout your hair strand, you're gonna need to formulate for each of those sections separately. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you have any other questions on the color wheel or toning hair, leave it for me in the comments. And make sure you subscribe if you wanna make every day a good hair day. Thanks for watching.